You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I usually say the crew is in the building, but we are missing one. He is handling grown folks' business.
I mean, the crew's still in the building.
Crew's still in the building. Yeah. He's still fam in the building.
What up?
But he's taking a very well-deserved break.
Absolutely.
Lone does a lot, man. So anytime he can take some sort of a break and just relax, that brother deserves that. My man Jay Moore in the building. Crispy, I see you over there.
No, this is some
exclusive joints.
No, you know what's crazy is like luckily this is my only real vice.
Okay.
We
know.
Yeah.
We know.
Is having
hockey jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
High priced.
You know, the thing is, I always catch them. There's people that don't know what they are, and I wind up you know, if I wanted to start flipping these jerseys, I'd be straight. You know, in fact, I'm going to start. There's some of them I'm like, I never wear this. I just have it to have it. And you know, there's somebody out there who's an enthusiast like me, so I'm going to be getting rid of a few of them.
Now, sitting in the driver's seat for Lone, my man DJ Jay Diff, who appears to be very happy that Michigan took care of business. I see you with your Letterman exclusive joint.
Yeah, absolutely. Salutations, Happy New Year and all that mess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we got the job done finally. Yeah, man. It's been a minute.
15-0 That's crazy.
Yes. So
it's a good look
happy,
on you, brother.
Pretty happy. Thank you. Yes. Have to rep the blue and maize, you know.
You know, shout out to the people that are the real fans. It's good to see those, the ones that have, you know, been through the ups and downs. I know Terry's one of those, so yeah. I'm happy for the fan base, man.
Hardball got him one.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. He can go ahead and bow out if he wants to. He can go on to the NFL and do whatever he want to do.
We got special guests. Well, actually, fam. He's not even a special guest at this point. You know, the funky educator, Mr. Kinetik. How are you, sir?
You know what? I'm good, man. It's good to be in the spot.
Good to see you. Appreciate you stepping in for us, man. Yeah. You know, you fam, so I don't want to put too much on it because you fam.
I appreciate that, man.
Everything good though?
Man, I can't complain.
That's what I like
don't
to
nobody
hear.
want to hear it no way. So
sure don't.
Right.
Boy, you preaching with that one because they really don't.
Not at all.
They really don't. Let me see.
I see you repping the DJ Screw though.
Screwston, Texas, man.
Okay.
I went to Screwed Up Records years ago. It's a good pilgrimage if you get to go there.
I would actually like to visit that.
You can buy any tape he ever made.
Wow.
Any.
That's crazy that they keep those on. They got this
big binder. Deck. You can just use. I want 245 and get them all.
How much are they?
I think I paid like 10 for mine on CD.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Just to have those, I'd cop a couple of those.
You know what? I wish they had an archive of Naptown mixtapes like that. I wish I could go somewhere that had all the stuff that was in Rockin' Billy's, and I could just flip through some and get an old school B Nasty mix or Paul Bunyan.
I got some Paul Bunyan mixes. I got Fire and Ice. I got VIP.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple of them. He sent them to me years ago.
Y'all really
the
be
Mellow
the
Mix joint.
Oh yeah.
JF.
Real quick though, man. Rest in peace, Jerry Wade.
Oh man,
that hurt.
That hit me, man.
That hurt, man. Because
Mr. Quiet Storm, bro. If you from anywhere around here, Central Indiana, we had Jerry Wade at Anderson. I knew as soon as I heard that come on around, about 7ish.
Yep.
Man,
as soon as you heard that come on, if you was in the car, you heard his voice come on. It was a rap.
Listen, as soon as you hear Moments in Love,
man, you know what it is, bro.
What it is. People was calling in. He was getting them right on the game, helping them out with the ladies. Man, he's truly gonna be missed. He's a Naptown icon.
Man,
you can't tell me you're from Naptown and you don't recognize his voice or his energy. And they call him Lover Man, but he loved everybody. It wasn't just that smooth R&B mess. Not mess, but you know what I mean.
You know, yeah.
He literally was a people person, man. He took care of people, and he will sorely be missed.
The videos I see of him at the radio station, I think it was Karen Vaughn had some videos that she shared. It's crazy that his voice sound like that. Even when he's not, you know what I mean? Some people I'm thinking in my mind, he about to get into the vibe. And no, he sounded like that the whole time, which was extremely dope, man. There's videos of him out working with elderly people in the community. Like, it's
all that Moselle Sanders stuff.
Man.
He's 10 toes down.
That's one of the first people I met because I was hanging out with DJ Rec 1. Shout out to him. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing in St. Louis right now. He's running a station out there. So shout out to that whole crew. Like, we just had like the most random conversation, and I told him, oh yeah, I used to, be on the radio, and I did the Quiet Storm, and he's like, oh man, don't come for my job, which is there was no chance I was ever going to come for his job, But he was just one of those people. Even if I remember I saw him maybe about a year ago. You would have thought I just saw him the day before.
Right.
That's the kind of energy he had. He was never too Hollywood to say hello to people and flash that smile and be like, what up? It was genuine. It wasn't something he wasn't putting on for nobody. Like I said, man, one of the nicest dudes you could possibly ever met. He was a great on-air personality, and real recognizes real. When you hear somebody who's on the radio and they know how to do their thing, and you've been on the radio and you've been around some real professionals like I was coming out of St. Louis, Jerry Wade was the real deal, and he's going to be very much missed.
So Lil Nas X says that he's going to drop his next single, this first one since 2022, that we call J Christ, and then there's an image of him getting ready to be pulled up on a cross. Mm-hmm. There's 3 or 4 people with strings, and they're getting ready to pull him up. But a good friend of mine told me a while back, he said, Mike, Lil Nas X thing is going to be a phase. I said, what do you mean, sir? He said, this Old Town Road is going to last, and it's going to have a season. And then you're going to start seeing him reach once this wears off. And I'll be damned, this is where we are. In my personal opinion, it's about everything but the music now with him.
It's kind of been like that for a minute.
To that, y'all say, well, am I late to the party? Because I think the wave of that is more recent than the earlier stuff. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, he's really good at like extravagant imagery. I would say just in general. But I mean, that's Old Town Road is really kind of a joke. I mean, I guess at the base of it was just making a record to kind of be funny, I guess, in some ways. Was a story I heard back. It was almost like a meme situation. But even when you listen to it, like, how serious is this? But like, was it Montero or...
Montero was
that the one with the wild video?
Crazy.
Yeah. Some of it is just like spectacle. But it's also because people of faith are easy to troll.
Is this a master troll? Is that what this is?
Man, I don't honestly at this point I don't know, because he's saying that he's done a lot of stuff and sold his soul and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. He had the ball in his own court when Old Town Road came out, right?
Facts.
Because that song did what no other song has done since what? Jay Moore, historian.
Let's see. It was Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's One Sweet Day.
Okay.
That's the record it beat.
Okay.
So
what a comparison.
He went from pretty much touring schools. Know that?
Bro,
he's the historian.
Yeah,
that's
why
I know some stuff, but that is like,
bro, we really depend on him for that.
I was outside.
The specificity
I remember,
of that.
man. I was reading the trades. I read Billboard every week. That's what I do.
What he did, he had the kids in a chokehold.
He did.
So he could have went either way he wanted to go, and he decided to wait, drop his album, come out. You know what I'm saying? If that's his truth and he wanted to speak in his truth, that's what he did. But he took it a whole nother step further to dibble-dabble with Christianity and the devil and releasing his Air Max with blood in the soul.
Quote-unquote blood in the soul.
I mean, you kind of did it to yourself at this point. You really can't blame nobody but yourself at the end of the day. If you decided to go that route, because nobody put a gun to your head and was like, look, in order for you to do this, you have to do this. No, you don't.
Jay Moore, I want to come to you. But I'm saying this to say, how do you think this most recent pivot, or whatever you want to call it, troll job or whatever, how's this one going to be received?
The spectacle can only carry you so far.
Okay.
It really is a situation to where, unless the song is incredible,
probably won't be.
It's not.
Sorry, bro.
And I might hear the song and be like, "Whoa, that was crazy," but at the same time, it's like, you already twerked on the devil, dog. Yeah. Like, what else do you really want us to react to?
Got on stage kissing guys in the mouth.
Yeah. Now, if you just came out and you decided you just wanted to be a rapper and you was playing like the gay thing was just something you was playing with, which would be not cool. That would be shocking. But for you to do this, like, this is all you have right now. And and I'll reiterate it. Please, people of faith, ignore this. Ignore this.
Best way to
There's no reason for you to get up in arms about what is clearly a troll job by somebody who looks like 1458. Now, it was a heck of a 15 minutes. To have.
He had a heck of a 15 minutes.
He's paid for life.
But we're looking. I
hope.
Yeah. You never know.
I wish I could see his face.
But you're looking at someone who we're not talking about his talent. We're talking about the spectacle. Like I said, it can only carry you so far because every day there's a new spectacle. Every day something comes out that's just crazy. I hope this young man actually has some good music coming.
I hope so.
So he can sustain an actual career. But or else he's going to, even if he tries to dip back into the cowboy records, it's not going to work. People are like, you already did this and you did it better the first time.
I think that ship is sailed.
Yes.
He probably should have stayed over there because we've talked about Jelly Roll success.
Facts.
He's more successful than he's ever been in his career.
Facts.
So Lil Nas X performed at the Country Awards with
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus
is on the remix.
Yeah,
facts.
Brought Billy Ray Cyrus back from wherever he was.
And there's a visual. There's a video for it.
Yeah. So he should have kept that steam. He probably should have stayed over there. He probably could have got some songwriters, you know what I'm saying? Really make me a country music star, country rap star, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if he sold his soul, he might need a return on his whatever it's called.
You know what? It reminds me. It reminds me of Soulja Boy because Soulja Boy did Crank That and just stayed there.
He stayed there.
That was his vibe, and he still hasn't deviated, and it's done really well for him.
Yes.
Now you could argue, the merit of it, but I don't care what anybody says. Crank That is never going away.
Never.
It don't, whether you like it or not, it's never going away.
I agree.
But I think some of that has to do with the fact that he stayed there. Now I don't think Old Town Road is still. I don't know how. Just
honestly,
from DJing,
I haven't heard Old Town Road
in a
good maybe year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, you don't
like it had its moment in like it's a rap.
Has it disappeared like that?
I only played it at schools. Like if I was DJing an elementary school party, I played it there. But other than that, I never played.
And I've been in the grimiest of spots when that song was hot.
Yeah,
you played it next to whatever was out at that time.
Yeah,
and people were into it. But now it's one of those songs that was like, oh yeah, remember that? There's honestly the average DJ who plays out in the club, he could just erase that song and no one. You might want somebody at a wedding might want to hear it. Wedding or a kid's party. That's it.
And Crank That is multi-generational at this point.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it is not going away. But I think a lot of that has to do with that's just what Soulja Boy to say. He just was like, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to do this, and
you got to give
that way.
You have to give Soulja Boy his piece, if we're talking comparison, to have the common sense, obviously, to stay in that lane and prosper. Even at how old is Soulja Boy now? Early 30s, probably,
something like
mid-30s.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's still that guy. The exact same person to me from what I see when he's on social media and all that. Soulja Boy ain't the mature Soulja Boy. He's pretty much still the same dude.
He's never been the mature
Soulja Boy. He's still Gucci bandana, donk, turn my swag
Drake.
On, pretty boy swag. Drake.
Yeah.
He copied the whole flow.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I think it's great that you can be in a position where like I made a song that's never going away.
Mm-hmm. Not too many people can say that.
No, I still think it's because he stayed in that lane though. I haven't heard a Lil Nas X song or played one. I don't know. It's been a minute. Yeah. Just because I think some of this is the problem with spectacle. After a while, you make people be like, oh, okay, all right.
I'm cool off of you, dude.
Yeah, like, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's what we're doing. You know? That's boring after a while.
I want to see how. I know it's good. I already know it's going to stir people up. I know that part, but the actual record, like that's the era that we're in now. The record on the checklist is at the bottom. It's social media. Will it go viral? How's it going to work? Can we get it in front of as many views and eyes as possible? Then we'll care about if the record is good.
And we're actually doing him a favor by even talking about this.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
you're right.
I mean, at the end of the day,
you're right.
His music isn't speaking for itself. Nope. It's the gimmicks. It's the idiocracy. It's the trolling, so to speak, that he's doing is speaking for him. That's why he hasn't had a hit since the first one.
It's WWF or WWE, depending on what you call it. That's what that reminds me of. Like, what's the most outlandish thing we can do that people will pay attention to?
Yeah.
And the wrestling industry got it down.
Absolutely. They've had it down since the 80s. Mm-hmm. And it ain't going nowhere.
You said, I fell for the trap by even bringing it up. But
well, I will say to your credit, if the record ain't jamming, then
it ain't gonna be. It's not gonna be jamming, bro.
Don't anticipate downloading it or nothing.
There'll be
like I said, let's pay more attention to the music than the spectacle. And Christians, please stop being so easy to troll.
Please don't take the bait on this one because this is beyond obvious.
You already know. Somebody pastor writing that sermon already though.
Listen, did y'all see the pastors acting up for New Year's?
Oh
What?
Oh,
they was in there.
the pastor
Was
playing.
they getting it in?
Man, they was doing
swag surfing in the church.
and
Wow.
Was it a
craziness.
gospel version?
No,
it was
actual.
the for real version, man.
Oh, word?
Man, these preachers out here are heathens. if this is what you got to do to get to the people,
There's tonight's
Hey,
soundbite.
man,
That
you
ain't
got
it.
some. Look, you had people in church on New Year's Eve as opposed to in the club.
but you made them feel like they was in
On
the
watch
club.
night service.
Yeah, you supposed to. It's
Nah.
supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be swag surfing
Listen,
when you
man.
go on New Year's Eve, not
Come
the
on,
church.
dog. Nah, this
I
ain't it.
missed that one.
This ain't that, man. I'm sorry. If you going to church, you're supposed to be going to church and get your Jesus or wherever you serve. That's what you're supposed to get in the church. I'm not supposed to go to church
And turn up.
feel like I'm in the club, even if I'm there on New Year's.
Bro, was the whole room swag surfing?
Yes.
I got the fine.
man.
This
We got
is
to
where we
find
at
this one,
nowadays, man. I'm telling you, this is modern day. I ain't even gonna go there.
I know what you.
Sometimes-
I know what you.
There's
About to
somebody-
You
say.
gonna say it's the last and evil days?
I know what
you
you about to say.
Those ministers will be like, sometimes you gotta talk to people where they are. That's how I got them in here.
So it's been a whole room
they
full
be
of
pulling
people.
in women in the side room.
Oh,
talking.
yes.
Here
Leave it
we
alone.
go.
I'm
I mean, you're right though.
Here
I
we
mean,
go.
that's the
Yeah,
thing.
but you know what? It's the same thing.
That might get you 150 comments right
It's
there.
the same thing. Like
He not lying though.
because you know
I
what?
grew up in church. He not lying.
All eyes are on you when
Some
you're a
scandalous
minister.
stuff. Yeah.
When you're a singer, you're a rapper.
Yeah.
Like the same way I get a little bit of a dopamine hit when I say, put your hands up, or like, I can't hear you, and all of a sudden they start singing the words of the song. It's the same thing when pastors be like, I need an amen somebody, and he can get everybody to get to hollering and scream. Look, it's the
Come on,
same.
Pastor, come on.
I'm sorry, but like, you can say it's the same. The men of the cloth, they get that same dopamine
They do.
hit.
I've been around
Get
them.
up there sweating and carrying on.
They do. I've been around. I mean, I grew up in church. I've been around them. You are not wrong at all. They are like that.
It's the same, and a lot.
Even the best of them, they still got.
They
that
still
going
have
on.
that, and the thing is, it's like, you know, they be like, it's a dead crowd in here, and they just, sometimes they
Come
fish
on,
it.
lights.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on, like,
Amen, lights.
Hey.
Come on, choir.
I'm about to start doing that.
I might as well be
when I
preaching to
DJ.
myself.
When I DJ, I'm about to start talking to them like they my congregation. You know,
Come
what
on,
I'm saying?
somebody.
I'm gonna need somebody to run. I'm gonna need somebody to catch that Holy Ghost.
All
man
right,
now.
saints.
All right now.
Jay Moore,
Yes.
this is your favorite time of the year, man.
Here we go.
This is your favorite time of the year. Our legends, speaking about state of this thing that we love and call hip hop, brother. But you know what? I think this might be received a little better than you think. Okay?
Let me
Follow me on this.
All right.
So it's the OG Pete Rock. He's basically giving his assessment as I drop my phone. He's giving the assessment of hip hop in its current state, and he said they should change the music to WTF. He says they're trying to create a narrative that ain't working. Pile driving the culture straight into the ground. We created real history. I don't know what the hell they are creating today, but it damn sure ain't history or hip hop. That's a fact. We lost our integrity chasing the money. The bag, as they say, has become the problem and the focus point in the culture, which makes it corny when y'all make it about money. Shake my head. Everyone extra sensitive about opinions. Shaking my head. As soon as you have an opinion, you're a hater automatically. That's clownish. We all out there working to make better music. Why don't you try and do the same thing?
Listen,
Jump in, Kinetik.
my only
The
gripe.
last line is what got me.
My only gripe with this is cats start talking like this as if they were getting checks written to them and gave them back.
Okay.
Like when first off, this sounds so old
Yeah, it
to
does.
me, but you know, I don't know what they're creating. Like Pete Rock, you can go plug in your gear and you can make stuff too. I mean, I don't know. I more respect people like Madlib who, when is the last time you heard Madlib say anything about anything anybody else is doing?
I don't think I've heard him say anything
and
about
he's not going to do
anything.
it because he's just interested in what he's doing. And it's like, it is, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's whatever. But this kind of stuff, it just seemed like what's the last thing Pete Rock produced?
I know he was supposed to be working on a record with
You
Common.
said supposed to be.
I
He
said
did something with
supposed to be.
Skazoo.
Yeah,
He did. That was fire. That
He
was
was
fire.
on. He was on To Pimp a Butterfly very briefly on.
Him and Smoke
Complexion.
DZA got some heat.
Yeah.
that was
I mean,
fire.
don't get me wrong. P Rock has done stuff recently that I enjoy,
Yeah,
but at the same time, I focus on that sort of thing.
yeah.
But what I'm saying
Why he
is,
can't just do his music and be quiet though?
but look at the last part where he says we all out here working to make better music. the part about the quality is what jumps out to me, because I think that's what he's speaking to. Like, let's just work on, maybe we should work on making better music, perhaps, instead of focusing on the bad.
So this to me,
that's what I got.
This to me is kind of like beating a dead horse conversation.
Thank you.
Because there's always some older cat that's speaking about what's going on. We all know the nature of the business right now. We all know it. And nobody's all going to get on the same accord and be about any of this stuff that the OGs are talking about. You know why? Because the younger cats are going to do what they want to do regardless. And that's kind of part of what hip hop is.
Yeah.
Is you come up, you do what you want to do. Now, I don't necessarily have to like it. I can respect it from afar. I don't have to listen to it either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I understand it grinds our gears a little bit. Some of the stuff we hear, there's artists that we talk about a lot on this show that we really don't like and don't respect. But at the end of the day, I respect them for what they're doing. It just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? And you having those conversations, it kind of makes you look way out of touch, because you're not going to grab any of those people's attention by saying that, because they're going to automatically or turn the cold shoulder to you. Look, because you're not embracing them.
Nope. Can I play staying with you, Terry?
Go ahead.
Can I play devil's advocate real quick?
Sure.
I'm gonna read a passage here.
No, passage
from the Book of Clarence.
Yes, from the Book of Clarence.
All right.
Hip hop is in a terrible place. The state of hip hop right now is a lot of imitation. It's a lot of quick, low quality music being put out. You know who said that? Lil Yachty.
I was about to tell you, we had that conversation.
But what I'm saying is, you talking. What I'm hearing is the old man on the lawn.
Because that's
Lil
what
Yachty
it is.
might be 30.
But it's
what
also
did we say?
colored by the fact that he put a record out last year that is so far from being hip hop.
That's what I'm saying.
There's an
I remember we talked
there.
about. I'm just throwing it out there. Because he's way younger than Pete Rock, and I think he made a very fair assessment.
But what did his album sound like before he made his Out of This World album?
I know what you mean.
Now he's matured in his content. You know what I'm saying? He's like, and we've had this conversation too, a Tyler the Creator.
Right.
His content matured. He became a musician. I don't know what Yachty's going to do.
Yachty's 26.
But him saying that, I mean, kudos to him. I mean, there are a few youngsters that feel that way. I'm not saying that it's only old cats, but the conversations that we've been having lately is mostly older cats saying this, that, and the other about these artists that we don't rock with anyway. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to respect them for what they doing, because, I mean, they out here.
I just don't understand why hip hop is so caught up in these conversations.
That is a good question.
It never goes away.
That is a good question.
It is such a, it just happens all the time.
I've stood on the soapbox of saying in the past.
You stood on business.
On business. The 10 toes. That these types of conversations, I'm assuming don't have. I see what you did there.
His vibrational level is up.
Yeah. 10 toes.
What's your sign? That's the real.
Come on, man. Come on. I'm not about to do this with you. I'm not doing this. What was I gonna say? Y'all done lost my train of thought now. Kinetik, you see? I was about to drop a bar too.
Was you?
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Dang.
Pick it up.
All right, I'll let you get back to that.
Go ahead, man. I done lost my train of thought.
No,
man.
I mean, once again, I think this is Kinetik will feel me on this, like being an educator, that we spend so much time sometimes focusing on the problem student that we don't realize is that, if you got 25 kids in this class, we spend so much time with a kid who stands on his desk and throws paper around that we don't focus on the 24 over here who have turned in their work on time and color and do what they're supposed to and always have always have their lunch money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Doing all their work, not causing no issues.
If you're a teacher, the saddest thing about sometimes being a teacher is that you focus the majority of your attention on your problem students.
Yes.
And I think that's sort of what we're doing in hip hop right now. I talked about this. I was like, there's no reason why we talked about Sexy Red so much on this show. That she hasn't done anything artistically for us to have talked about her so much.
No,
I purposely didn't bring her up for that very reason.
Yeah,
thank you.
And so
it's the whole thing about saying that people spend 90% of their time on 10% of a group within a group.
Yep.
And I can say, like, I had this conversation with a couple of people. I said, who's the man or the woman in hip hop right now? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't really come up with anybody. There's a lot of stuff I like. if you ask me, I'd say Killer Mike. But you know what? Like based on the metrics that other people like to say who is the man, it's not who they would say who was the man. As far as an artistic expression and who put out the best album last year, it's Killer Mike,
hands down.
You know what I'm saying? I would still say Nas is the man because he can put out so many. He's put out so many albums, put out so many songs I've liked in the last 2.5, 3 years. But when people are like, well, they ain't on the radio and it's not this and it's not that. Well, it's like your metric is different than mine when I talk about the quality of music and the things that I actually enjoy.
People pay attention to different things at the end of the day. Just like I just brought up King. You know what I'm saying? So King's brother, Damani, is cold.
He is.
So if you ever listen to Damani rap, he don't sound nothing like King, even T.I. even. I mean, T.I. is tight. He's cold too, but Damani sounds totally different.
He has his own lane.
His other son, Messiah, is like he plays the guitar and is like a country singer almost. Yeah. So, but we talk about King because King is out here doing.
Well, he bought some extra large teeth.
You know what I'm saying?
That didn't help. He bought them teeth. Like,
but yeah,
all the people, all the famous people.
We got them cheap veneers.
Exactly.
He got them cheap teeth.
Yeah, everybody. Cheap teeth. That should be his name, Cheap Teeth.
Yeah.
Wow, you might have started something right there.
And Damani out here really spitting. Damani opened up for Rhapsody and Crit.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah. He really
nice.
out here doing it.
Yeah, he nice. He nice.
So
when I hear his talk like that, I guess maybe they don't have the audience, but it's interesting. Like you don't hear Curtis Blow say stuff like that.
Nah.
You don't hear Chuck D say stuff like that. You don't hear Rakim say stuff like that. You don't
hear say
Melly Mel.
Rah.
Anyway,
well, he don't like nobody.
No, he don't. And
he shouldn't have dropped that record, though. I tell you that.
Man, wow.
No disrespect to the OG, but
and Queen Latifah, you don't gonna hear her say nothing like that. I guess there's like this little pocket of hip hop people, and Pete Rock is kind of he's there.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, I guess in my head, if I'm Pete Rock's manager, if he has one, my thing would be like, Pete Rock, how about we call Nas and see what he's up to? And like, what can we do there instead of wasting your time on this? Why can't we like, if that's his gripe that it's not enough of non-corny, you should have the connections to call people. Call Method Man. Call somebody that you can't shop your beats to nobody
call
now. Pete Rock, you know what I'm saying? Like shut them down. Like you don't have that juice, Pete Rock. Like,
but Kinetik,
just make records.
One of your first big looks was Johnny Gill.
Yeah, just make records, man.
Kinetik, I'm throwing him a little bit of a lifeline only because he says we all out here working to make better music. Nobody's talking about the fact that I think that this is just one of our elder statesmen that's mad that the quality of music has come down.
Stay off my lawn.
I really think that's what this is about. And when it all comes down to it, he went all the way around.
I wish he would just say that.
Yeah, that's what I think
just
this
say
is.
That.
That's all.
But once again, it's
that's not a bad message to put out, though.
You come from the Melly Mel era, and then here comes these dudes who wear the Godfather hats and the leather blazers. You'd be like, well, what is this?
Yep.
And then if you're from the Run DMC era, and then you see 9 people in a rap group, and they talking about, and it's all these kung fu samples, like, well, what is this?
Yep.
And then if you're from the Wu-Tang era,
does help that they can rap.
Cats got on shiny suits,
and you'd be like, well, what? And if you're from the shiny suit era, and then you see these dudes from New Orleans, and they make all their beats with no samples, you're like, well, what is this? Like,
see, the beauty in all of that was everybody was coexisting at the same time, doing their own thing,
and weren't complaining.
Wasn't complaining about it.
No, they was complaining.
From a few, far and few between.
Tim Dog was
but I mean, technically, literally, the shiny suit era and the Wu-Tang era and
that's
the down south Renaissance
that is all
going on at the same time.
That's kind of in there at the same time. Yeah.
And then if you want to go off the beaten path, your Raucous and your Def Jux and all that kind of stuff was also happening at the same time.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? I would say like 96 to 2001. There's a bunch of stuff happening. I would probably say 92 to about 98, 99.
There was a lot of different vibes or whatever you want to call it, waves that all coexisted at that time for the time frame that you're talking about. Yeah. There was a lot of stuff going on.
It's just interesting.
I see
Yachty's comment is real interesting to me because I remember my students are who put me on the Yachty and Playboy Cardi and all of them because that was all on, even Chance, that was all on SoundCloud.
Right.
And what he is now saying, I don't know if he doesn't remember it, but people said the same thing about him. So I just wonder, like, if I was in the same room as him, I would ask him, I'm like, you do know you sound like the same people who said the same thing about you, right? Like, do you get that?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, like,
he's feeling himself for having something to do with Drake's last album, too.
Yeah, man.
Well, you stick around long enough till you become the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You stood on that. Terry has always said this is a play based off the Drake and that project. Yeah. In terms of the comment.
Yes.
So it may be a little inauthentic. Yeah. Even if, to me, he hit the nail on the head, we talking about a reference point for him and who's saying it.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe he a little foul.
I don't dislike him.
No, we came around on Lil Boat. Good effort.
Yeah.
Good effort. A for effort, brother.
Jay Moore,
Lil Boat 26, man. Shout out to Lone. Put that in there. He's 26.
26.
He's still a young man. He seemed like almost... Well, I ain't gonna say veteran, but
rap ageism.
Fam done been around for a while, though, right?
He's been around for we pushing 8-9 years. Yeah. We really are, though. Yeah.
He done been around for a little, and he still had.
Yeah, when we first started the podcast, we talked about Lil Boat.
The other thing about that, the subjectivity of low quality is just. It's always gonna be hard. What does that mean? I mean, I don't. Low quality.
We're talking about the fidelity of it. Because
fidelity.
Because
like,
then
what
are
we
people,
talking about?
Because you know what? There are people who would be like,
it's lo-fi
when they listen to like Jay Dilla, they're like, "What is this?"
I mean, but look though, if we thinking about
it's not mixed and mastered.
Yeah,
it's not mixed and mastered like a Dr. Dre record.
Yeah, there's some records I play by Griselda. I'm like, I don't know who mixed this, but this sound like something that
and they do it on purpose,
and it's supposed to sound like that.
Yeah, I mean that, and then even some of the stuff Alchemist does is not very shiny. I mean, I would say Madlib is in that same kind of boat. There's a lot of people that are like, you play it for somebody who likes Lil Yachty a bunch, they probably are going to be like, this seemed like what's wrong with it?
Look, when I hear,
it's crunchy.
You still hear like the hissing in the background of you're like, and I thought, okay, maybe I had a bad copy or something.
Yeah.
No, that's how it's supposed to sound.
That's how it sounds.
Everything is the word subjective has been thrown around, right? So we know music is subjective. We've been in the game long enough to know that. But Pete Rock makes a good point when he talks about, and I'm throwing him another lifeline, Jay Moore.
Yeah, you are.
When he talks about opinions and people being sensitive. Right?
When we talk about people being sensitive,
because
when he was here judging the beat contest,
oh my God!
So if we're gonna go there,
talk about
he was judging a beat contest, and actually he got upset with Long for saying something about it.
He did.
He's judging a beat contest, and we're all there. We're seeing this in real time. He's saying that some of these beats that these cats are playing are really good.
He did,
and they really weren't.
They weren't.
The people that probably should have been in this beat contest weren't in it.
I'm about to say, because I don't know nothing about this.
It was at Epic. It was at Epic. It was probably about 5 years ago, maybe.
I ain't gonna hold you. I had multiple people.
He was upset because Lone called him out for some of the people and some of the
I remember this. Yeah.
And he had a little spat back and forth. So you can't sit up here and tell me about quality of music and the people that are from this city were telling you this ain't that.
Yeah.
And you was hype about it. So what you got upset.
So what you telling me is he's talking about people being sensitive, and he was sensitive.
Come on, that's where I'm going with this.
All right. I preach, brother. I see. I was there. Jay Moore walked straight up to me and was like, "Why aren't you in this?" I remember.
I was getting ready to ask you.
I mean, because
I saw him in the crowd. He was like, "Why are you not in this?"
There's a lot of producers there that should have been in it that weren't in it.
Honestly,
and this is the height of like the beat battles that Jay Brookins was putting on, and so like I heard everybody's beats. I know what this city could do.
And at that stage in my life, if I would have looked at the flyer and not recognized it, I wouldn't have left the house. That's just who I am sometimes.
I'm not going to hold you.
I wasn't there.
We was there just to see Pete Rock at the end of the day.
That's it.
Which is crazy because you get there, never meet your heroes, I guess. I don't know.
It's real.
I mean, he was cool when I met him, but I mean, our interaction was like this much because I had a Soul Survivor on 12-inch.
Did he sign it?
Yeah, he signed it.
Yeah, I got an autograph for him. From him on a CD.
I've only met him twice, and he's been cool both times.
Yeah,
but to Lone's point about them tapes, he definitely was in his feelings.
I just don't get like Pete Rock. Put a beat tape out or something, man.
I'd love another piece.
You know what I'm saying?
I would. Yeah, I would.
I don't know who would not take the call from Pete Rock.
Listen, he needs to take one of these young cats under his wing.
Yeah.
He needs to do what Hit Boy did for Nas.
Yeah.
The opposite way though.
Yeah.
He might need to go get what's my guy? Corday.
Oh, yeah.
Some stuff Corday.
And the thing is, you never know. You out here talking bad about the new rappers or new rap. You don't know these people. These people might be fans of yours. You talking bad about.
That's the other part. Yeah.
They would be honored to meet you and work with you, and you just on your hip hop high horse talking bad about these kids. Like I said, I call them kids because that's where they are.
They young.
They young for sure.
You make a good point though. Find somebody that you could build with, because I'm sure there's some people. If Pete Rock called me, I'm like,
man, I don't care.
I'm like, what's it gonna take?
Conspiracy theory, Pete.
What's it gonna take?
Whatever y'all want to call it. If Pete Rock comes and says, "Lil, I'm trying to do something," the line is going to be longer than I think a lot of us think.
Exactly.
That's because he's an OG and he deserves that.
He does.
And you never know what sounds
one of my favorite albums from 1998.
Yes.
That Soul Survivor was cold.
The whole album.
You can throw that on right now.
Yeah.
The whole album.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's not, and we ain't even talking about all the stuff he's done beyond that.
I mean, but we're talking about somebody who has an extensive catalog, and we know we're everybody in this room who's talking. Pete, if you wind up hearing this, is fans of yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. We know.
He's got a poster to the right.
Yes. So, don't get it twisted.
Even see
his face is in the
every shot that we, you know what I'm saying? So it's not
don't get it twisted.
We just here to talk crazy and shout you down. It's like, no, we know who you are.
Yeah.
And like, yo, come on, let's if you are one of those people that feels like hip hop's in the wrong direction, let's steer it in the right direction under your tutelage, if you will.
I mean, like I was listening to Faking Jacks just last week.
Yeah.
You know, it's that. I mean, it's Pete Rock is at the point in my listening that he just will show up. It's not, it is embedded, I guess, for lack of better terms. So some of it, maybe I'm in my feelings about it, but I guess I just feel like there's a way for OGs to shepherd the culture without being so negative sometimes.
That's a bar.
And being like, he just sounds argumentative and old. Yeah. It makes me wonder, like, Art Blakey wasn't like that in jazz. Art Blakey kept young people in his band. Nope. Miles kept young people in his band. Herbie Hancock keeps young people in his band. Instead of talking about it, they would just be like, hey, come play.
Miles had been probably in the game 30 years before Thriller came out.
Yeah.
Easily.
Actually 40 low key because Birth of the Cool is like 49 or something like that.
Because I think he started when he was like, 18, 19?
Yeah. He quit Juilliard to play jazz.
There you go.
I mean, thank you for saying that because people be trying to play Miles like he ain't go to Juilliard.
was in James Brown's band.
Yes.
Boosie's still out here.
Yeah. I mean, in Miles,
not Boosie.
Thank you.
Boosie Collins.
Don't get it twisted, man.
We don't have time for it, but the tree of Miles in jazz is the tree.
We
of
definitely
jazz.
don't have time for that. Yeah.
A lot of it is because of an investment in young people. So back to your point, if you just bring somebody along and then once you do it, you work with them and then they go off and do their own thing. Alchemist does that all the time.
Yes.
Like I'm going to work with, Bodie James and then
Larry June.
Larry June. I'm waiting for him to work with Stove though. He ain't done it yet, but
nice.
I'm waiting. I need that.
That'd be a lot of good
but Alchemist is not going to try to monopolize that. He's going to work with you. He's going to get you, you're going to do your little thing. And then like, all right, go do something else. I'll call you later. Because he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
So, we going to make it was 20-some years ago now when you really think about it. And that he was doing stuff, was doing stuff before
I
that.
ran into him at the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying at Deer Creek. He was just in the crowd with everybody else.
Wow.
Yeah.
P2 OG, it's all good, but come on, man. Let's be what they say. Let's be consistent. Let's be consistent.
Send me the files, man.
Hey Terry, can we rock with the partners real quick, brother?
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Printfinity is a screen printing shop based in Indianapolis, owned and operated by our own DJ Jay Diff. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member for as little as $3 a month. All details on newoldheads.com.
Shout out to our partners as well. We appreciate them as always. I'll try to make sure to say that because they've been taking care of us for a while, so we appreciate the support. Madonna.
Talk that talk.
I'm going to talk that talk.
Yeah. What it is.
Madonna has been on tour.
Okay.
Right?
Word.
Fake body and all.
Yeah.
See, you about to be part of the problem because she's getting trolled in the comments because of how old she is and she's choosing to perform. Chuck D, of all people.
Base.
Thank you. Came to her defense as it relates to her and her celebration tour. And, people were on the comments talking about you old now. Like, why are you really out here? And I'm paraphrasing, but there was some mean comments. So Chuck D
said it to Steve Tyler.
Well, you might be right.
You don't see that
but Chuck D says, check out what Chuck says. He says, at 63, I know I can bike better than I ever did. And Pilates ain't easy, but I give it to Madonna for pushing the bars. He says, talking about ageism, he says, so ageism, sometimes gets like racism, both ways if you let it. For anyone over 50, the rule is either you do the songs or the songs do you. Madonna has some hard songs to perform in her catalog.
Yeah.
So basically, he's coming to her defense saying, look, a lot of these records that she dropped, back in her day are hard songs to perform and we older now. So he's giving her flowers saying, yo, y'all chill, man, because you really don't know what she's actually going through to perform some of these joints. Sit back and get that work and enjoy it. What do y'all think about that? Especially the comment where he says, I'm coming to you, Kinetik, where he talks about, so ageism sometimes gets like racism, both ways if you let it. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
I know what he means there. The way that comes out, people are going to pick that apart.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm asking about.
I know exactly what he means in the sense of, man, we just have these weird rules about what people are allowed to do as they get older because our society has weird rules about old people. So I'm never going to get down with people making fun of artists getting on stage, though. I just am not.
At any point.
At any point. If you feel like you can do it, then go do it.
Right.
I mean, like I saw Herbie Hancock in what, 2018? Herbie's in his 80s or something like that. Yes, it's playing piano. I'm sure it's still a grind for him to tour an entire country as an 80-some-year-old.
I saw B.B. King and Bobby Bland in their 70s with my mama, and we enjoyed the whole show.
Yeah, and it's a grind. These dudes are old, so it's not like they get to go home and sleep in their bed. They're going to, whatever it takes for them to be there. But, like, if she still feels her music, still loves it, I mean, if it ain't going to tax too much, I'd go see a Madonna show. I would
too.
Yeah.
It's one of them things you go do and you're like, I saw that, you know. Because how many more times are you going to see it? But I don't care if you want to get on stage and you feel like you still got it. Y'all make a good point, though. You don't hear nobody talk about men like that, though.
No, I mean, because I was upset that I really, when the Rolling Stones came here to the Speedway, I wanted to go see that show.
I did, too.
Just to say, hey, I saw the Stones.
I saw the Stones.
You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
If you can perform and you're not embarrassing yourself, then get out there and go do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can still get out there and do Borderline and just, I mean, it's crazy. This is where the tie's going to come in. This is going to be where I tied Chuck D and Madonna together. Because remember when Justify My Love came out?
Yeah. That song was jamming.
Yeah.
It was jamming.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Yeah. But, and you're like, I think they said Lenny Kravitz produced it, but I was like, as somebody who listened to the entire Public Enemy Nation of Millions tape, there was an instrumental on there. It was like something Terminator X, something in Pan, and it was. I was like
Terminator X to the Edge of Panic,
and I was like, this is just that. All they did was have her and put a few little synthesizers over it. All they did was play a Public Enemy song and then put Madonna on it. So that's their tie. I'm not sure if Chuck and them got some money for that because they should have, but really. Like the same thing, but at the same time, if Janet Jackson comes to town, I'm going to go see Janet Jackson.
Yep, I wouldn't seen her not the last time, but time before that, I wouldn't seen her. I'm seeing all my bucket list artists. Like we just had this conversation earlier.
That's real, Terry.
I'm
That's
see everybody.
If
I
you
want to
still
see.
have the strength and the stamina to get on stage, and you're not embarrassing yourself, get up there and go do it. Now, if it's going to take a little bit more work and a little bit more. You go out to do your calisthenics and drink your water,
which is kind of what he was talking about. Yeah, if that's what she got to do to make it shake, then that's whatever.
Yeah. So,
but see, this is so weird because I don't know what y'all know about working, but all of us sitting in this room, unless something changed, we're gonna be working when we get to be that age.
Right.
So it's weird that
in some way, shape, or form.
In some way, shape, or form. That's not old in our lifetime. That's not old. So people treat it like it's old. But she still got to get up and go to work just like everybody else. But I'm with you. If she's not going to embarrass herself, she feel like she can do it. I would go to the show.
She in her 60s still rocking.
Now, there are some people who get up there on stage and unfortunately be like, okay.
Like when Genuine fell off the stage.
I mean, I don't even think that was, I just think he caught a bad one on that day.
He did.
I got a couple bad ones.
Did you laugh?
Said nope.
What'd you say, Terry?
He caught a couple
bad ones.
I mean, and when I go see New Edition, am I expecting to see the same New Edition that I saw on the Heartbreak Tour in 1988? No.
And you're not going to get the same version of her either, and that's okay.
Right.
She's iconic. I know some people might have something to say about that, but she is.
She is iconic, though.
And go see the show.
I mean, when we talk about Michael Jackson changing things,
come on, man.
Madonna is one of those same artists that changed things. When she did Like a Virgin, that was probably one of the most sexually explicit songs that made the mainstream at that time. And when you think about it now, you was like, man, that's tame.
Yeah.
But
when she did it at the 84
in
MTV
in a
Awards.
wedding dress, on a bed, doing all kinds of, you know what I'm saying?
And then you remember Like a Prayer, she called hell over that because Leon was black in the video.
Leon was in the video.
He was supposed to be Jesus.
But then she put out the book, and Big Daddy Kane was in the book and all that.
It was called, the book was called Sex.
And and Human Nature comes out around that same time, and she done caught all kind of flack.
No, and the crazy thing is she still got to keep that $7 million from Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Madonna, like a prayer was it seems like nothing now, but that was
this holiday. But that's
Madonna's sitting on bread, like she just out here touring. She just out here touring to take care of the day ones.
You could there's a small amount of women in that era. I would say her and Janet. I'll just leave it there for the sake of ease. If they don't do what they were doing, a lot of this stuff that women are doing now.
We don't get Ariana Grande. We don't get Beyonce.
I know we're not talking about her music, but Sexy Red, we're not getting that kind of stuff. We're not going to get that.
No.
They were like, I'm going to be a woman as I, in the way I see fit. I'm going to do what I want to do on stage. I'm going to do what I want to do in these videos. And the thing is, they're good at it, though. That's the thing. I would go see. I didn't know she was on tour. I would go see it.
Hey, last time I seen Janet did a wonderful job on tour. And
that's what my mama said.
It says you can still attend Madonna's celebration tour.
Have to look, man.
That's what it's called.
I guess, and then there's the other part of it is like at some point, man, like these people, we talked about this earlier. You got to go see people when you can.
Yeah.
There's something to that. Like we had Jazz Fest and George Duke and Stanley Clark were here. George Duke died not long after that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I guess, the show I thought it was going to be in George, but it was George Duke and it was great. But I'm glad I went because he's dead now. So I went because he was old then too, but I'm going because that's one of my favorite people. I'm going to see that. I went to see Bootsy at the Vogue. Bootsy hasn't toured again through here since then. You got to go see that stuff sometimes. I didn't know she was doing it. Let me go.
And the thing is, let's just be honest. This is about shaming women, about them getting old.
Come on, talk about it.
This is about how we don't have any appreciation. We start, and because the only reason they start getting this plastic surgery and doing all and Botox is because they don't do it for themselves. They do it for us because they think we're appreciative. Depending on who you talk about.
Why you say I don't know, Terry?
I don't know.
Why you say I don't know?
Because some of it is a little bit excessive, and
it is, but they don't know.
Nah, they know. Is like
some people don't realize. Some people don't know this is going to be the end result when they thought, okay, I'm gonna get the same thing she got, and no.
She does kind of have that Lil Kim thing kind of going on with the facial part.
Yeah.
But honestly, I look at it like body modification, right? I got a bunch of tattoos. I'm not gonna stop getting them until I decide I don't want no more of them.
So I'm ready for more, right?
Yeah,
and I have none. I've never had. Some people just don't have that thing in their head.
Now, she doing stuff I would never do, but a lot of people say that about my tattoos. So
get it how you live.
Yeah, man. Go do your thing. I'm over here looking though. Sold out. All the ones every show on this tour.
Is she coming to Indy?
No, come on now.
This is Madonna at the end of the day.
That's a joke.
She going to Detroit. That's about as close as she gonna get to us.
They don't nobody.
That's home.
Oh, she going to United Center here in February. Yeah, she
a lot of the problem here is our
and they
sound
gonna sell
is not
out.
good. Like I was at the Colts game, not the last one, when we played the Raiders though.
Oh, you balling?
And the sound in that arena is terrible.
Really?
Yes.
It's rough.
It's terrible.
It's not good.
It's not designed for that.
It's designed for football and monster truck rallies.
The sound in Baker's Fieldhouse or Gainbridge, whatever you call it now, is terrible.
It's not.
That's why a lot of people don't come here. People say tickets don't sell, but a lot of artists don't want to book these venues, although they're state-of-the-art venues.
Yeah.
The sound is not good.
Trash.
Yeah, my buddy that does a lot of tech AV stuff said that, like Lucas Oil for one,
it's
tough.
bad, man.
Beautiful stadium.
Gainbridge, it's Conseco to me.
Yeah, it's definitely Conseco.
I still call it Market Square. I don't even live here.
That building's never
ain't even the same good.
At all.
It takes a lot of work to get it to sound good, which is an artist or whoever's fronting that tour, that's money. So you do have to make that decision, like, am I going to do this or not? But I don't know. She got 2 nights in Chicago. Every show on this tour is going to sell out. So I mean, people can say whatever they want.
She doing something right.
Come on,
y'all better check for these legends when they pull up.
She got 2 days at Madison Square Garden. She got 2 in Montreal. You know you're doing it. You selling out. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Madonna's one of them ones.
Madonna's definitely one of them ones.
100%.
Dude, how many?
I mean, her name is just one name.
Come on now. When you get to go by one name,
Y'all don't
always
most people don't even
Madonna.
know her last name.
I don't even know she has one.
Ciccone.
Of course she. Yeah.
You know he was gonna know. You know he was gonna know. There's only a handful, or maybe there may not be a handful. It depends on the genre that you pick. That are them ones that we talking about that we still want to go see or try to go see.
Look, I'm in a place now where if Lionel Richie come to town, I'm gonna find a way to go see Lionel Richie.
Hello.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Even if Diana Ross, who I'm not a huge fan of, and generation for me, because my father doesn't like Diana Ross. Like, I'd probably still go see if I can find a way to see Diana Ross.
Yeah.
Here's an I'm coming out song used to jam.
Here's a question for you gentlemen, right? Because we talking about them ones. I want to see what y'all say. Do you run out to see the Temptations?
No.
I mean, we're not getting the Temptations.
That's not what I asked you. Do we go out to see the Temptations with Otis and them?
This is kind of like the same conversation if Tony was touring without Raphael.
Which they did for many, many years.
Yes, they did. And it was not it.
I also want to point out, I went to the show in Louisville. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. I bet. I just want to put
Shout out to DJ Prince for opening.
Shout out to Prince.
I just want to make sure I say that. You also couldn't have your phones out, which was a totally wonderful experience to see a show again, like we did when we was kids, with no phones out, and everybody just vibing. But anyway,
shout out to Prince. Shout out to DJ Prince for sure.
Shout out to him. He was killing it that night too.
Terry, you not going to see Otis and them?
No.
Nobody comes to see you.
Ain't nobody original left but Otis.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the one time where everybody's going to see Otis.
I was just asking. I tell you what, I got one on my list though.
What's that?
Reverend Al Green.
I mean, I'll mess with Al Green.
I'll go see Al Green.
You want to see Al Green? Go to his church.
Well, I know.
No,
I'm dead serious. He sings every Sunday.
I know, but I need him in his bag though. I don't know if you're
gonna get that.
I mean, he's not gonna sing "Simply Beautiful" up there, but
probably not. But I know people that went to his church and they said he's Al Green.
Al Green is that's one of my favorite.
He's one of them ones.
Yeah, he's one of them ones. Ain't too many of them ones left.
You'd be surprised.
That's why you need to go see him.
You right.
Yep.
You right.
That's the whole thing. You got to go see. I'm looking at ticket prices over here. They high.
Yeah. Oh, they high.
They high. But that's what you get when you go to see a legend, right? Like the tickets gonna be out.
When Ticketmaster's involved, yeah.
Well, you know they gonna gas it up. But yeah, Al would be one for me.
Jodeci got
that residency
in
Do you
Vegas?
know I've looked? I'm like,
got a residency in Vegas.
Wait, Jodeci got a residency?
Yes, man.
All of
everybody on that Sammy Davis Jr. now.
Yeah, because they're like, wait a minute, I can be on tour and never have to.
They got to go nowhere.
Usher didn't set the gold standard for all of them. Now everybody ain't gonna do what Usher did.
No, this shit gonna light that mug up.
They gonna light it up. But Usher, listen, what Usher did,
I'm with you.
Is on a whole nother level. I ain't even gonna front to you.
Only thing
I'm a big New Edition fan.
What's
Wu-Tang is got so I'm gonna see if I can see
they got a residency too
and New Edition.
Wu-Tang got a residency in Vegas?
In Vegas.
Is it gonna be everybody though?
That's a good question.
When they was here last summer,
everybody except Method Man.
Method Man wasn't here, but that was it.
I feel like he was shooting a movie or something like that.
When I went and seen them back when they got banned, ODB wasn't here. So,
yeah.
I mean, but Tom Morello has a great story about like when they were on tour together.
Oh, with the Rage, yeah.
Oh, yeah. ODB was like, "Hey, man, which way is the stage?" And Tom was like, "Oh, it's this way." And then ODB just walks the other way.
That's some ODB ish.
So he might have been here in Indy. Y'all just didn't see him.
His son be rapping though, to his credit, whenever they perform. From what I see, so
that was a great show.
That was a great show. Nas, I think, in my personal opinion, who stole the show?
Nas.
Busta Rhymes had his.
Busta Rhymes. That's what I want to see.
Busta Rhymes is one of the top 5 hip hop performers of all time.
We weren't really ready for that. I don't think that we kind of knew that
I needed Busta like 10 years ago, but I still go see him.
Right now he's good.
Busta was here.
I still go see him
when the national championship was here.
Yeah. Him and Spliff don't miss
that show, and I'm telling you, Busta.
He don't miss a beat.
Killed it.
Busta and Spliff don't miss. I'm with y'all on that.
First time I seen Busta Rhymes was at the Hoosier Rap Daddy concert in 1998.
Wow.
It was him, The Roots, Eminem, Too Short, Snoop.
Man, that's a legendary lineup.
Where was it at?
It was at the fairgrounds.
Well, I'll be John Brown.
Yeah, it was all day.
In the Coliseum?
No.
Outside?
When they would do it out on the track?
Yep.
Back before you had to do the outside stage like you do now.
Busta Rhymes showed his whole ass.
And that would have been when Disaster Strikes was out. So that's
a good time. That's a good time to see him.
Showed his whole ass on him. I was like, ever since then, I was like, I got to see Busta Rhymes every chance I can get, and he has never failed me.
No,
I love that he keeps Spliff with him.
Yeah,
I love that.
I dapped it up with Split backstage.
Yeah, it's like Chuck D and Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
man, you gotta have him there.
Matter of fact, I can't imagine seeing him without.
It's not gonna happen.
Spliff.
It's not gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't. They literally go hand in hand.
So now back to that Wu show.
Yeah,
seeing Nas, Ghost, and Raekwon. That was verbal intercourse.
Listen.
Never thought that was going to happen in my life.
Listen,
but the first record that Ghostface did was Mighty Healthy.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can go home at this point. I never thought I would see that. He came out and killed it. That whole show was great.
Y'all saw Verbal Intercourse live.
I'm mad because no one had mentioned that to me. Because I was in St. Louis for
when I got there,
business, so I didn't see it.
When I saw the bill and when I got there, that was all I could think about. I'm like, I wonder if they're going to do it.
Man, I had to. I went to that show and had to drive to Chicago that same night to go to Cancun. I was like, I'm not selling my ticket. I'm going to this concert.
I'm gonna just be tired.
Yep. I'm just gonna have to be tired.
Yep.
But
I was like 12 or 13 rows back. It was so loud, but it was great.
Yeah, man.
It was great. Now you could, of course, tell. You could tell the casuals, the casual fans. You could tell when Verbal Intercourse came on. Okay, the casuals are lost.
I would have lost my mind.
Those of us that knew, we did. Yeah. Mighty Healthy came on, we knew.
No, you understand, like, Verbal Intercourse was like the theme song of my freshman year of college.
Yes. They killed it, and it was great.
That's one of Nas' best verses.
It was great.
Ever in life.
And that was so special because you didn't get a Nas verse outside. Like,
you didn't get anybody out of Wu-Tang on Wu-Tang
No,
records,
but you gotta understand, we at that point, we basically had Illmatic.
Yeah.
And we were waiting on anything else from Nas.
Yeah, because I Am hadn't came out yet.
Yeah, and so he had one album. He had like the song on the Street Fighter soundtrack, and then
I love how you always say that.
Yes, he did.
The song on the Street Fighter
was the only song.
That probably was it.
Then
he wasn't doing no features really.
He had Fast Life with Cool G Rap,
which is a fantastic record.
And then other than that, so he only had like 3 features. Anything outside of Illmatic, he only had 3 other songs. Other than until we got to the second record.
Was he on that Mobb Deep record? Their first record? Was that in that same time frame?
Was he on that?
Any from is he on
Eye for an Eye?
Is he on Eye for an Eye? Your Beat for Mine? I gotta check.
Yeah, we need to do some research on that because we don't be wrong. But yeah, but you gotta say this is when a Nas feature anything was special. You didn't get nothing outside of his albums.
Yeah. And mind you, this was my first time seeing Nas performing all Nas stuff because I seen him actually with Damian Marley when they did the Distant Relatives. Okay. I seen that concert, but I had never seen like a Nas performing his, you know what I'm saying, his classic hits.
Yeah, it was Eye for an Eye.
Okay, yeah, I saw Nas do. He did the Hip Hop Is Dead tour.
See,
that was my parents got me tickets for that for my 30th birthday. That show you how long ago it was.
Dang.
Because I'm 46. So it was a while ago.
I saw him at the Congress in Chicago with MF Doom, and everybody was saying that the
MF Doom was fake.
It for sure was an imposter.
Yeah, I remember that show.
It had to have been.
Everybody was like, "Boo, get off the stage! You're not the real Doom." I'll never forget it. We were right up front, like you know, 8-9 rows back. You know, the Congress.
Did you have a cell phone that took pictures back then?
I did not, man. Man,
yeah, that's for sure. He was fake. Yeah. You could probably find all that on Reddit.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard about that story.
Reddit,
and people was really booing dude, like they knew it wasn't him.
He probably wasn't even in the country,
bruh.
I mean, because you know, there's all that.
No, he was in the country because he's not actually an American citizen.
Yeah,
and so he can't move, or he couldn't move around like that.
Yeah.
The Congress Theater is just gutted. It's a huge old school theater. They took all the seats out. There. So we in there, like it's we in there, and I'm like, okay, everybody talk about MF Doom. I'm on the MF Doom train late, right? But everybody was like
The Wire.
Yeah.
Damn.
Why would you?
So that's just a thing. Like you just
that's the running theme.
That's how you get down.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
You hear though now. You hear though.
I was so excited that Mr. Kinetik was here tonight.
I mean, I'm just asking.
You know, it's just been down.
You set yourself up for that though.
I feel you, man. I feel you. What I'm saying though is.
What I had meant to say was
that show was lit and they booed dude off the stage and threw beer at him and all the rest of it.
And I kind of love that.
He had the mask and all the stuff. He was trying.
I was like,
nah, they wasn't going.
I know some people were mad because they paid to see Doom or whatever. But at that point, you kind of knew you weren't going to see him.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Man, they had...
you weren't going to see him.
Nas did one mic with like a spotlight on it.
Oh, wow.
Whole place was dark. I said, yeah, this is different.
Yeah, what year? When was that?
Man, I don't even have the ticket stuff. I have to go back and look it up.
The Hip Hop Is Dead
I was living in Chicago.
Later than 04 probably.
In the Hip Hop Is Dead tour, his DJ, I can't remember who was DJing for him at the time. Like his decks were in a coffin.
Oh wow.
I mean, and at this point I was like,
oh, they really was selling
that's
it, huh?
Ill. That's ill.
That's like when Crit had the stage with the Cadillac front.
That was solid.
Yep.
Nah, man, Crit. I remember that. Man, that was. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I saw videos of it or whatever.
I done seen Crit 3 times.
I saw him in Durham. He killed it at the Little Brother show. We saw him.
That's another group I'm just glad I got to see.
Little Brother, 100%.
Yeah.
I saw them,
and I've seen Foreign Exchange a couple times.
I saw them in Chicago right before COVID started. So May the Lord Watch had just come out.
Oh yeah, they had plans, and then COVID hit.
Yep.
Made in Durham was different.
And then I saw them open for, if you can believe it, Fort Minor.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
When Minstrel Show was new, I saw them. That was at Hard Rock in Chicago.
No, I saw them. It was David Banner,
Shout out to David
Brother,
Banner.
and Talib Kweli, I want to say. They were all at the Bluebird in Bloomington, Indiana.
That's an interesting mix.
Doesn't matter.
That's solid.
The Bluebird is like seeing it at, like Hi-Fi.
Yeah, for real.
Like that. I mean, wow.
That's an interesting mix.
That's when, and I actually...
I fool with David Banner.
Yeah, because I remember,
There was Shea Butter Pimps, and...
I remember actually running into
Champa.
Fonte, and I was like, man, because this is when he had Gordon Gartrell Radio out.
Yeah.
And which was honestly the first podcast that I ever messed with. You know what I'm saying? Because this is when everybody didn't have their own podcast, and podcasts weren't a thing in hip-hop. And this is how Wild West it was. It was when DJ Brainchild could play music on the podcast.
Yeah.
without getting copyright strikes.
Flagged,
Yeah, once upon a time when I had a podcast, I could get away with that.
Oh, I remember that because you had the live, like you had video and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good
on
times.
Twitch.
Shout out.
That's when I would request Hennessy no ice.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie DJ Brainchild, man. That's the homie, man. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Quick story. DJ Brainchild, actually, when I was in a group in college, DJ Brainchild produced a record for us on it.
Oh, crazy.
You guys will probably never hear it.
Why not?
Because it's in the files.
Come on.
We'll go ahead and drop it.
Yeah,
But that's the homie.
Come on, man.
Brainchild's a good dude, though.
Come on, man. I'm going to tell you what people tell me all the time. Ain't nobody cracking your hard drive open at your funeral.
You're right. You got me there.
So,
unless you're Prince.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, the whole
Because now today I saw they're going to do a Purple Rain musical. I am just...
How are you?
No, man.
That's
for
what
real.
They got a Michael experience in Vegas, and I ain't gonna lie. Last time I was in Vegas, I went and seen it.
Was it good?
It was actually pretty good.
I bet.
And dude was a spitting image of Michael Jackson.
I bet.
They took care of business?
I bet.
Yeah.
I remember watching, what was his, was it Immortal? Was that his movie? That Mike had made right before he died?
No, this
is it.
This is it.
He literally said, this is it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll never forget in the movie they were rehearsing some record, and he politely rebuked the dude because he wasn't playing it like the record, and he looked at him and said, "I want it to sound like it sounds when people bought the record."
Yeah, and
it was direct and intentional, and the room got quiet, and they played it the way it sounded.
Fan was sitting at the keyboard.
He was that guy. Yes,
and Mike started doing this like he started.
Yeah,
I said, man, dude better play this right. He might get sent to the crib.
He fired a cat during rehearsal.
Yes,
job gone.
You're not going to do it
that was
right.
during a show.
You're not going to do it right.
When we're doing rehearsal,
that was during the band tour. He was like, job gone.
I mean, but Mike is Mike is a student of the game though, because I've seen documentaries with James Brown. Like he'll do his hand like this or something, and it's a $5 fine. He was fining boys while he was performing.
Stage.
Like that's crazy, bro. Like
there's a video of them, the best JB's version. So with Bootsy and Phelps and all of them.
Yeah.
And there's two drummers on the stage. It's on YouTube, and the one drummer can't keep up with the record.
Yeah.
And so he kept two drummers for a reason. So he turns around and goes straight to the next drummer, and it was seamless. And like just the stuff James could do. He was a huge, like he was a complete jerk.
The conductor.
I think at that point it would have been Jabbo and
this was after Clyde.
Yeah, it might have been. It would have been after Clyde. So it was Jabbo Starks and probably might have been Melvin Parker.
Okay,
Macio's brother, something like that.
All right, man.
Could have been.
Anything else you gentlemen want to get off your chest before we ride out?
You know, I don't know. I just can't help but keep thinking about Pete Rock, man. I hope somebody that Pete Rock really respects tells him that, like, I hear you.
Yeah.
But let's think about who can you work with?
Yeah.
Like who can you work with? Because there are some people. Don't ask me to name them, but I mean, Who's not gonna pick up the phone for that? That's all I don't know. You could like anybody in Griselda. I bet you that like P Rock's on the phone. All right,
let's go.
Let's go.
All right, bet. Who's gonna say no to that?
Yeah,
P Rock is a legend. Always will be.
Straight up.
Well, if he does this, we know if he does reach out, then we're gonna have to bring you back on so we can talk about it.
I hope that I need old heads to do that. Art Blakey and Jazz was really that was the whole thing.
That should be the blueprint of how we move this thing forward.
He always kept young cats in his group, and when they were ready to go, they were ready to go. He got somebody else that's new. He's another big tree in jazz. That's how it should be. After a while, like we were talking about with the shows earlier that's going on around here. After a while, yes, the OGs and legends, if you will, we deserve that spot. But the new cats, we got the new cats got to get a spot too, though. That's how we got to where we are.
The way.
Yeah, that's how we got ours. You got to put them new people in there, put on for them. You know, it's a lot of cats that are dope.
Yeah,
and they probably couldn't even. Didn't even have driver's licenses when we all started doing whatever we were doing. But that's okay, though. I want them to have, they need that. Otherwise, everything dies.
It's their time. It's their time.
Yeah.
So, newoldheads.com for all the education that you need this year. As we always say, if you see it, like it, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever bell that you see, hit that. And also take a look at our Patreon. We got $3 Holler. That's where you get all the exclusive content and the show in its full form. We appreciate the support as always. Shout out to the chat, everybody that rock with us tonight. Kinetik, we love you, man. Appreciate you stepping in and helping us out, bro. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.